The day my sister called me a failure, everyone laughed. Even our mother looked away. And 3 years later, I handed her the keys to the house she cried over her entire life. But she couldn't even hold them. Because by then, she finally understood what she had destroyed. People think betrayal hurts most when it comes from strangers. It doesn't. It hurts when it comes from the people who watched you grow up. The people who know your scars. The people who promised they'd never become your pain. This is broken then powerful, where pain turns into power. Her name was Elena, 32 years old, single, working 2 jobs, and barely surviving. Every morning started the same way. Cheap coffee, a bus ride across town, and a silent prayer that her landlord wouldn't knock again asking for late rent. Meanwhile, her younger sister Sophia looked like she had life figured out. Beautiful husband, luxury car, perfect Instagram pictures, the kind of woman people pointed at and said, she won at life. And Elena? She was the family disappointment. At least that's what everyone treated her like. At family dinners, Sophia always found ways to remind people, oh, Elena still works at that little store. Wow, I can't imagine living paycheck to paycheck at her age. Little comments, tiny knives, and the worst part? Elena never fought back. Because when you spend years being treated like you're not enough, eventually, you start believing it too. But they didn't know. Every night after work, Elena stayed awake until 2 a.m. studying business marketing on an old cracked laptop. She was exhausted, burned out, alone, but hungry for a different life. Not for revenge, not yet, just survival. Then came the birthday party. The night everything broke. Sophia rented a rooftop restaurant downtown. Gold decorations, champagne towers, designer dresses. The entire family showed up dressed like they were attending a celebrity wedding. Except Elena. She came straight from work. Tired eyes, wrinkled clothes, shoes with fading soles. The moment she walked in, people noticed. Sophia noticed too. Oh wow, she laughed loudly. At least you tried. The table chuckled. Elena forced a smile. She was used to humiliation by now. But then Sophia stood up with a wine glass in her hand, and everything changed. I just want to say something tonight, Sophia said. I'm grateful not everyone in this family gave up on themselves. The room got quiet. Then she looked directly at Elena. Some people dream. Some people work. And some people become failures because it's easier to blame life than themselves. Silence. Heavy silence. Elena felt every eye on her. Her uncle smirked. Her cousins looked uncomfortable. Even her mother stayed silent. That hurt most. Sophia laughed softly and added, maybe one day you'll figure it out. And everyone laughed again. Everyone except Elena, because at that exact moment, something inside her died. Or maybe something finally woke up. And before I tell you what happened next, I really want to ask you something. Right now, while you're listening to this story, where are you watching this from? Which city? Which country? Tell us in the comments below. And one more thing. Do you think Elena should forgive her sister after everything she did? Or do some wounds never truly heal? I read your comments personally, and I truly love hearing your thoughts and stories. Because sometimes, people watching silently are fighting battles nobody can see. So don't stay invisible today. Drop your city, your country, and your opinion in the comments. Now listen carefully, because this is where pain turns into power. Elena stood there frozen, heart pounding, eyes burning, but she refused to cry in front of them. That was their biggest mistake. They thought silence meant weakness, but silence is dangerous when pain becomes purpose. Elena quietly grabbed her bag. No screaming, no dramatic speech, no revenge line. She simply walked out, and while the elevator doors closed, she heard Sophia's voice one last time. Don't be so sensitive. Sensitive. Funny how people call you sensitive after they stab you emotionally. That night, Elena sat alone in her apartment. No lights on, just darkness, and the sound of rain hitting the windows. She replayed every insult, every joke, every moment people made her feel small, and suddenly, she stopped crying. Because something terrifying happens when a broken person finally gets tired of breaking. They become dangerous, not to others, to the version of themselves that kept settling. That night, Elena made a decision. No more complaining, no more explaining herself, no more begging people to see her worth. She would disappear and rebuild in silence. The next morning, everything changed. She deleted social media, stopped attending family gatherings, worked harder than ever. During the day, she stocked shelves at the grocery store. At night, she freelanced online for tiny amounts of money. $10 here, $20 there. Most people would have quit. But pain became fuel. Months passed. Then a year. Then 2. And slowly, the woman everyone mocked stopped looking like a victim. She learned branding, marketing, business strategy. She started helping small companies grow online. Then one client became 5. 5 became 50. And 50 became a company. But they didn't know, because Elena stayed silent, but not weak. While everyone else chased appearances, she built skills. While Sophia posted luxury dinners online, Elena studied contracts, negotiation, leadership, the very things nobody sees before success happens. Then one day, everything flipped. A huge beauty company discovered Elena's work online. They offered her a partnership deal worth more money than she had ever imagined. The girl who once counted coins for groceries now sat in meetings where people valued her ideas at millions. And suddenly, the same family that ignored her started asking questions. Has anyone talked to Elena lately? I heard she's doing well. Maybe we judged her too harshly. Funny how respect arrives after money. But Elena never forgot, especially not Sophia. Because while Elena was building an empire quietly, Sophia's perfect life was collapsing. Her husband cheated. The luxury lifestyle vanished. Debt piled up. And worst of all, the dream house Sophia always wanted was slipping away. That house mattered to her more than anything. She talked about it since childhood. Ocean view, white walls, big kitchen, a place where she said she'd finally feel successful. But now, the bank was preparing to take it, and for the first time in her life, Sophia was the one drowning. Then came the phone call. After almost 3 years of silence, Sophia called Elena crying. Not proud, not confident, just broken. Elena, I don't know who else to call. Long pause. You were right about life. Elena closed her eyes. Because despite everything, hearing her sister cry still hurt. That's the complicated thing about love. Even after betrayal, part of your heart still remembers who they used to be. Sophia admitted everything. The debt, the fake lifestyle, the panic attacks, the fear of losing the house, and finally, the truth she avoided for years. I treated you horribly. I needed to feel superior because deep down I hated myself. Silence, real silence this time, not the cruel kind, the honest kind. And Elena realized something important. Pain changes people, but healing changes them more. A week later, Sophia received a message asking her to come to the house for paperwork. She assumed it was foreclosure documents. She cried the entire drive there. But when she arrived, the real estate agent smiled. Congratulations, he said. The house has been fully purchased. Sophia froze. What? Then she saw Elena standing near the doorway. Calm, elegant, confident, not flashy, not arrogant, just powerful. Sophia's voice shook. You bought this? Elena nodded softly, and for the first time in years, Sophia couldn't speak. The woman she humiliated in front of everyone, the woman she called a failure, now stood there holding the keys to her dream house. But Elena didn't smile like a villain. She didn't humiliate her back. Because true power doesn't need revenge performances. It just stands there quietly. Undeniable. Sophia burst into tears. I don't deserve this. And Elena replied with words Sophia would never forget. No. You deserved honesty years ago. But I'm not giving you this because of who you were. I'm giving it to you because I refuse to become what hurt me. That sentence shattered her. Because sometimes the strongest people are not the ones who destroy. others after winning. They're the ones who stay kind after surviving cruelty. And that takes real strength. Later that night, Sophia asked Elena something through tears. How did you become this strong? Elena looked at her and said, I stopped trying to prove my worth to people committed to misunderstanding me. Powerful words, because too many people waste years begging for validation from people who already decided not to value them. Listen carefully. Not everyone who laughs at you is ahead of you. Some people mock others because they fear their own reflection. Some people attack your dreams because they abandon theirs. And some people only respect success after it becomes impossible to ignore. But never let temporary humiliation define your future. The quietest people often carry the strongest storms inside them. Remember this. Success is beautiful, but becoming emotionally unbreakable, that changes everything. And maybe the greatest revenge is not making people suffer. Maybe it's becoming so powerful that their opinion no longer controls your peace. Because the truth is, Elena didn't win when she bought the house. She won the night she stopped believing she was a failure. That was the real victory. The money came later. The confidence came later. The success came later. But the transformation started the moment she chose herself. So if people are laughing at you right now, if your own family doubts you, if life feels unfair, good, use it. Let the pain sharpen you instead of destroying you. Because one day, the same people who underestimated you will struggle to understand how you became unstoppable. Subscribe to Broken Then Powerful for more stories like this. And remember, sometimes the people who break you accidentally introduce you to your power.